Alright, hey everyone, this is Brian from newprediction.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take a chart that was created, got some problems with it, and how I converted that into a better looking, more functional, more effective Tableau chart. So you can see the before and after kind of side by side here. Here's the one that we're going to recreate. Here's the kind of final product. And I'll let you know too, I've got screenshots of everything in a complete run through of everything that you need to know, all step-by-step instructions. Everything is over at newprediction.com/tableau-tutorial. So that's newprediction.com/tableau-tutorial. I have a full write-up there, downloads, everything that you need to follow along with the video tutorial. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open up Tableau and go ahead and connect to some data. This data is hosted out on data.world, so we just open up the data connector. You can see I've already connected here. If you don't have an account or you haven't connected to the data, you've got to go through those steps. And once you're connected, you can go ahead and open it up. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is create 3 calculated fields. So these are kind of for formatting later on, so we're going to go ahead and create calculated field. And this is going to be category upper. We're going to do the same thing. For those, and the third one is going to be based off of this locals outnumbered as the index. We're going to create calculated, and this is going to be a locals outnumbered percent round. Paste in that formula there, and again, I have all the formulas available on my website, newprediction.com. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is set some of these defaults. So for number of locals and tourists, you can kind of control select each of those, and then we're going to come down to default properties, over to number format, put these down to 1, and we're going to display these in millions. And then these two, we're going to make percentage as 1. Okay, so now that we have the number formatting, or the number formats all set, we can go ahead and start to build out our visualization. So we're going to drag the measures up here to our columns. And we're going to set this as a dual axis, and then we're going to bring in our category and our country. And we're going to set all of these to bar. Okay, so now we're going to come up here and edit some of our colors. And the number of locals is going to be this light green color, dark green for tourists. For the country, we are going to, okay, the next thing we're going to do is set our filters so that we're only looking at one of those. Perfect. And let's go ahead and set our sort according to this index number. Spain, we want this to be descending to have Croatia up at the top because it is the most heavily over tourism place. So we're kind of showing that first and foremost. The next thing I'm going to do here, fix up my formatting that way. Oh, I see. Let's go ahead and move this tourism to the left-hand side. That way we see that there. And so let's go back and put this to the regular size. Good. And bring this one and bring this size up. Excellent. Much, much better. Okay, so now we need to continue on adding our labels. So let's come up to our locals, and we're going to bring in and the country, and now you can see that there. Let's go ahead and format these so that they overlap that, and I'm going to go ahead and set my color to black. That way if it does tip into the white here, it doesn't get screwed up. Next thing I'm going to do is move these around a little bit and maybe make this one bold. And I think I'm going to need to make both of these 8 to end up having everything fit. Looks a little small now, but on the dashboard or on the final visualization, it will look a little bit better. Let's also go over to our tourists, where we're going to put on locals and tourists. And let's go ahead and adjust those. Have those there. Okay. And we don't want it on tourists, we want it on locals on this one, so let's actually get rid of those, sorry. Let's bring in locals and tourists onto this label. Alright, so now let's go ahead and add labels to the other side here, the locals and tourists. So we're in our tourist section here. Let's go ahead and put in tourists and locals, and let's adjust some of this formatting here. And we're going to put in here tourists and locals. And I think I'm going to make this semi-bold, semi-bold, and pop those down to 8 so that everything fits well. Okay, one last thing that we need to do in order to make sure that these axes are aligned. You can see we have 250 million for the tourists and only 70 million for the locals. That's not accurate, so let's go ahead and synchronize those so that everything kind of lines up as expected. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do here is actually hide some of the labels and headers that we just don't need. And we're also going to update the sheet name here so that way we have our nice title with a small description there. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our over tourism. Let's go ahead and label this, and we're going to duplicate it, call this under tourism, and we're going to select this one. The other thing we're going to do on this one now is we're going to make the sort in the reverse order. That way China is or Tanzania is the most under tourism. So we can actually, while we're looking at this, update our title there, and now you can see that everything is pretty much lined up exactly. Very, very little we actually have to do here. Everything is already formatted for us. So we're ready to actually go ahead and create the dashboard. I always like to have the dashboard tab all the way to the left, and we can go ahead and give this a name. And I like to start off with a couple of, let's get rid of that, and we're going to bring under tourism over there, and we get rid of this container. Don't really need to have those legends. And then I'm going to bring a text box up to the very top, and we're going to paste our formatted text right in there. You can see here I've got the title up top, and then I use visitors as the dark green and locals as the light green to kind of correspond to the data visualization below. Okay, one thing I found on this under tourism, I see I need to kind of flip-flop the labels because they're kind of attached to the wrong view here. So I'm going to go to the sheet, and I'm going to see, you can see how they're on the tourists, which I don't really want. So I'm going to go ahead and put these onto the locals bar chart, and we'll get rid of these ones. Back over here, and we're going to format these labels. Add in those labels again. And set that down to 9 so you can see what's going on there. Much better. Okay, so now so this is now ready for some feedback. Let's see, one thing that we might want to do is format to get rid of the grid lines here. Good. That's all set, and then these ones, get rid of those 0 lines. And I think I'm also going to get rid of those, but I think I do want these grid lines to be in there. And we're going to do the same thing over here. get rid of all these lines. Keep those and no, get rid of those and put these back on. And now everything kind of looks like it's one cohesive thing, and looks like I still have one darker line right there. Just set all of the lines to 0 here. There we go. Get rid of them all. Okay, so now I think we're ready to publish. So we're going to publish this workbook. I'm already signed into Tableau server. If you don't have a Tableau public account, you do need to get one of those. They're free, very, very highly recommended. And we're going to publish this to tourism density index. I already have one out there that I created earlier this week, so I'm going to call this for the tutorial. That way it can stay out there for future reference. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the finished visualization. One thing that I might actually do is remove some of the tooltips stuff, so let's just go ahead and do that right now. So that since this is more of a static, we don't need to have any of the tooltip information listed in here, so let's just get rid of all those. Good. Make sure that these are all good. Perfect. And then over on under tourism as well, get rid of all those. Since we don't really need that, there's no real interactivity here, and let's go ahead and publish this again. And let's go ahead and publish this again. So you can see here, I've removed all the tooltips, so those aren't distracting anymore. So this is really ready for feedback. I would love to see an example of something that you created using this tutorial, so go ahead and hit me with a tweet at New Prediction. I love seeing this stuff. Would love to see if you have something published on Tableau Public or just a screenshot is totally fine too. So again guys, if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you go and check out the full write-up, the full tutorial over on my blog, my website over at newprediction.com/Tableau-tutorial. I hope you like it. Thanks.